small Iowa farm town. 4 words that probably evoke an image in your mind.
This was a great town to grow up in. You knew every neighbor, you waved.
Chances are, this isn't what you were picturing.
The Constitution was the right to respect each person according to their own religion.
The first family of ultra-Orthodox Lubavitcher Jews moved to Postville, Iowa in 1987. That's when they converted the town's defunct meatpacking plant into the world's largest kosher slaughterhouse. What no one knew then is that they'd also turned the Postville of the past upside down.
They don't embrace change real well, so I guess that perhaps they are scared about what the future of this little town is.
I think that there's 2 strong stereotypes working here.
Aaron Goldsmith, one of 200 Hasidic Jews living in Postville, hopes he will play a part in the town's future.
And what's tremendously remarkable is that some people in Postville still haven't realized that the rest of the country's already gone through this.
In December, Goldsmith was appointed without an election to fill an open spot on the city council, a fact that infuriated many in town. A petition calling for a special election circulated, but why? Was it because Goldsmith was the first Hasidic Jew to hold public office? Or was it the townsfolk simply wanted a chance to cast their ballot? The story of Postville is much more complicated than it would appear on the surface. I talked to more than half a dozen people who live here who wouldn't go on camera for fear of being labeled anti-Semitic. But they told me, in many cases, their Jewish neighbors aren't exactly being neighborly. They said the Jewish people frequently don't pay their bills on time at local businesses, that they don't keep their yards clean and tidy. And perhaps most importantly, and the most egregious sin, since this is Iowa, they don't wave at their neighbors.
They're not the kind of people, it's not in their nature to speak to you on the street or to stop and chit-chat.
Sharon Dran is editor of the Postville Herald Leader. She'll tell you anti-Semitism is not rampant here.
Because these people are Jewish is not the issue here. The issue is because they are different.
There's a way to assimilate and yet maintain your own identity. And I think that's, in fact, what is in the process of happening in the Postville.
17-year-old Getzel Rabashkin, who attends Postville's all-Jewish boys' school, would agree.
I do wave to people. When, I see them, they wave to me, wave to them, And the lawns are not as terrible as people are making them out to be.
But it would be a lie to say no tensions exist in Postville.
When I'm called a racist bigot just because I want to run for city council, I think that's ridiculous.
Remember that petition? Well, enough people signed it to force a special election, pitting Postville native Tracy Shager against Aaron Goldsmith, the Lubavitcher who moved his business here from Los Angeles 3 years ago.
It was portrayed as the Christian against the Jew. Well, I don't belong to any church here. Do I believe in God? Yes. But don't they also?
In the days before the election, inflammatory hate mail from a neo-Nazi group is sent to some 50 non-Jewish families.
And I've had people come up to me and say, yeah, I'm going to be voting for you because I don't want Aaron on the city council, or I don't want him on the city council. You get one on there and then you got to hope. And I said, I don't want your vote. That's not why I'm running.
Election day arrives.
And just tip it up, have it slide in. That keeps it secret. My.
And by small-town Iowa standards, it is a media frenzy.
We're still all going to have to live here, and we need to get along.
Turnout is high. In fact, before the polls close, they'll run out of ballots.
Nobody likes change, but we know it's going to happen.
With the voting complete, Aaron Goldsmith waits for the results at Postville's Kosher Deli, symbolically surrounded by an ethnic cross-section.
Are you an elected man yet?
Even the local Lutheran pastor. But results are slow in coming.
20 minutes? I'll call back.
20 minutes come and go. Still nothing.
They just started running them through.
An hour passes. Some wonder what the result will come to symbolize. Is it a matter of us versus them, with Postville's natives compromising their way of life?
We had to go and learn about them, but they never ever came and learned about us.
Nothing yet.
How long do I expect?
57 ballots must be manually counted. Then, finally...
216 for Shager, 325 for Goldsmith.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
With 60% of the vote, Postville elects its first rabbi to the city council.
We have a winner! We have a winner! We
Postville's story end here. But on this spring night, at least a few people are hopeful this will be the first step toward a happy ending.
People tend to look at Postville as a collection of communities, and I thought this vote could make us into one community.
I love you, honey.
Love you too.
In Postville, Iowa, Phil Johnston, KARE 11 News.
Yeah, sure.